There are places on this planet where no amount of money will get you in. Not $1 billion, not a presidential order, not a military escort. Some are guarded by armed soldiers with authorization to use deadly force. Some by tens of thousands of venomous snakes. Some by people who have never heard of the internet and will greet you with a poisoned arrow if you get within 200 meters of their shore. These aren't legends. They're real coordinates on a real map, and every single one of them is permanently off limits to you. 7 forbidden places, 7 different reasons for the lock on the door, and every story will make you wonder, what exactly are we protecting? And what exactly are we protecting it from? Number 7, a cave in southern France, 17,000 years old. Closed because of us.
Lascaux Cave, France. In September 1940, 4 teenagers and their dog stumbled into a cave in the Dordogne Valley of southwestern France. What they found by flashlight would be called one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. 600 paintings and nearly 1,500 engravings covering the walls and ceilings. Bulls, horses, deer, bison. Some figures stretched several meters in length. Created 17,000 years ago, during the last ice age, by people with no written language, no metal tools, no concept of recorded history, but who could paint. The cave opened to the public in 1948. For the next 15 years, up to 1,800 visitors per day filed through those chambers. Then, something started going wrong. Carbon dioxide from thousands of human breaths changed the cave's microclimate, stable for 17 millennia. Green algae appeared on the walls, then white calcium deposits, then black fungal patches. The paint, which had survived 17,000 years of darkness, began to die. In 1963, the cave was closed. It has been closed ever since. Today, a team of microbiologists and restorers fights an ongoing battle against the fungus inside. 60 years later, the visitors are long gone. The damage remains. A replica, Lascaux 4, was built nearby for tourists, accurate to within 1 millimeter. But it is not the cave. 17,000 years of survival. 15 years of human visitors. That's all it took. The Vatican Apostolic Archive, Italy. Beneath the Vatican sits a network of rooms and underground bunkers containing 85 linear kilometers of shelving. That's the driving distance from Vatican City to Florence, stacked with documents. Personal correspondence of every pope back to the 13th century. Letters from Michelangelo demanding payment from Pope Julius II. Records from the trial of Galileo. Henry VIII's petition for an annulment. Official communications with Napoleon, Hitler, and Mussolini. All of it here. For 250 years after its creation, the archive was completely sealed to outsiders. In 1881, Pope Leo XIII opened limited access to a handful of Catholic scholars, but with strict conditions. You cannot browse freely. You must request specific documents by catalog number. Journalists? Not allowed. Tourists? Not allowed. Students? Not allowed. And here's the detail that makes conspiracy theorists lose their minds. Not even the Pope has read everything in there, because no single person has ever read all of it. The catalog itself is incomplete. Thousands of documents remain unclassified. Not because they're being hidden, because there simply aren't enough staff to sort 85 kilometers of paper. Historians who've gained access describe it as searching for a needle in a haystack that took 4 centuries to build. In 2019, the Vatican renamed it from the Secret Archive to the Apostolic Archive. They hoped the name change would reduce conspiracy theories. It did not. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault, Norway. 1,000 kilometers from the North Pole, on a Norwegian archipelago in the Arctic Ocean, there is a concrete wedge jutting out of a frozen mountainside. It doesn't look like much. It looks like the entrance to a tunnel, which is exactly what it is. Behind that door, a 120-meter corridor cut into the permafrost, leading to 3 chambers maintained at minus 18 degrees Celsius. Inside those chambers, 1.3 million seed samples, representing nearly every major food crop on Earth. Wheat from Syria, rice from Thailand, corn from Mexico, potato varieties from Peru that no longer grow anywhere else. This is the Doomsday Vault, and it is exactly what it sounds like.
War, pandemic, volcanic eruption, climate collapse. Any of these events could wipe out decades of agricultural development in a region overnight. Seed varieties engineered over generations could vanish. The Svalbard Vault holds the backup copy. It's not theoretical. In 2015, a research center in war-torn Aleppo, Syria, one of the largest seed banks in the Middle East, was destroyed. Scientists withdrew their deposits from Svalbard and rebuilt their collection in Morocco. The first time the vault's emergency function was actually used. And it worked. No journalists allowed inside. No tourists. No scientists except when depositing new samples. The chambers are sterile. One wrong visitor could introduce mold or bacteria that destroys what humanity spent 10,000 years cultivating. The backup for civilization's food supply, locked in the Arctic, and completely off limits to you.
Area 51, Nevada, USA. In the Nevada desert, approximately 130 miles northwest of Las Vegas, there is a dry lake bed called Groom Lake, and around it, a restricted military installation of roughly 26,000 square kilometers, larger than the state of New Hampshire. Motion sensors, cameras, armed guards with authority to use deadly force, airspace closed to all civilian and commercial aircraft, warning signs that don't say private property, they say use of deadly force authorized. The US government did not officially acknowledge Area 51 existed until 2013, when declassified CIA documents confirmed, yes, the base is real, and yes, they were testing classified aircraft there.
What aircraft? The U-2, a reconnaissance plane capable of flying at 70,000 feet, higher than Soviet missiles could reach. The SR-71 Blackbird, the fastest jet ever built, capable of Mach 3.3, meaning it could cross the continental United States in just over an hour. The F-117 Nighthawk, the world's first operational stealth aircraft, designed to be invisible to radar. Every single one of these aircraft during test flights was witnessed by civilians who had never seen anything remotely like them. Dark triangles, disks of light, objects moving in ways no known aircraft could. The UFO mythology of the 20th century was largely built on legitimate military secrecy. In 2019, a Facebook event called Storm Area 51 attracted 2 million RSVPs. On the day, a few hundred people showed up, took selfies at the gate, and went home. Area 51 remains classified. Whatever they're testing there right now, you don't know about it yet.
Snake Island, Brazil. 35 kilometers off the coast of Sao Paulo state, there is a small island, just 430,000 square meters. On a clear day, you can see it from the mainland. The Brazilian Navy has placed it permanently off limits. The penalty for unauthorized landing? Imprisonment. The island is called Ilha da Queimada Grande. Everyone calls it Snake Island. It is the only home of the golden lancehead viper, Bothrops insularis, one of the most venomous snakes on Earth. Scientists estimate the population at between 2,000 and 4,000 individuals,
which works out to approximately 1 snake per square meter of the island's surface. 1 snake per square meter.
The golden lancehead's venom is 5 times more potent than its mainland relative. It doesn't just cause pain, it causes necrosis, flesh dissolving at the bite site, internal hemorrhaging, kidney failure. Without antivenom, death occurs in under an hour. The island separated from the Brazilian mainland approximately 11,000 years ago, trapping a lancehead population with no ground predators. Numbers exploded, and because their primary prey, migratory birds, must be killed instantly before they fly away, the venom evolved to be extraordinarily fast-acting. Evolution, given 11,000 years and 0 interference, produced a perfect killing machine, then sealed it on an island. The last permanent resident was a lighthouse keeper. According to local legend, snakes entered his home through the windows in the 1920s. He and his entire family were found dead. The lighthouse is now automated. The island belongs to the snakes.
North Sentinel Island, India. In the Bay of Bengal, there is an island roughly the size of Manhattan, about 60 square kilometers. It belongs to India. Permanent population? Somewhere between 50 and 500 people. The exact number is unknown because no one has been close enough to count. The people on this island have been there for somewhere between 30,000 and 60,000 years. 0 contact with the outside world. They do not know about other countries, other languages, other civilizations. They do not know you exist. And if you approach their shore, they will fire arrows at you. This isn't metaphor. In 2006, 2 fishermen whose boat drifted to the island were killed. In 2018, an American missionary named John Allen Chow paid local fishermen to take him to the island, hoping to convert the Sentinelese to Christianity. He was killed on his first day. His body was never recovered. After the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, the Indian government sent a helicopter to check on the island's inhabitants. The helicopter was met with arrows. The Sentinelese had survived and made their position clear. India has established a 5.5-kilometer exclusion zone around the island. Approaching it is a criminal offense. But here's the thing. The prohibition doesn't exist to protect you from them. It exists to protect them from you. The Sentinelese have 0 immunity to common diseases. The flu, a cold, measles. A single sick visitor could trigger an epidemic that kills everyone on the island within weeks. This has happened before. Every time an uncontacted people encountered civilization for the first time, between 30 and 90% of their population died from diseases they had no defense against. The Sentinelese aren't asking for help. They're asking to be left alone. That is the most reasonable request on this entire list.
The Mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang, China. Everyone knows about the Terracotta Army, 8,000 clay soldiers in battle formation, discovered in 1974 by farmers digging a well near Xi'an, one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. But here's what most people don't know. The Terracotta Army is not the main attraction. It's the guard. The actual tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, who unified China in 221 BC, lies beneath a 75-meter earthen mound, completely intact, completely sealed, never excavated. A historian writing 1 century after the emperor's death described what was allegedly built inside. A palace ceiling mapped with pearls and gemstones representing the stars. A floor relief map of the Chinese Empire with rivers and seas flowing in liquid mercury driven by mechanical devices. Walls inlaid with jade. Crossbows rigged to fire automatically at anyone who breached the entrance. In 1974, sensors inserted into the burial mound detected mercury concentrations in the soil at levels dozens of times higher than background readings for the region.
The mercury rivers appear to be real. The tomb has remained sealed for 2,200 years, not because no one knows it's there, not because it's inaccessible, but because the Chinese government has made a deliberate decision to wait. When archaeologists excavated the terracotta soldiers in the 1970s, those warriors were originally painted. Vivid reds, blues, greens, purples. That paint dissolved within minutes of exposure to air. We watched it happen and couldn't stop it. If the interior of the tomb contains painted walls, silk textiles, lacquered wood, written scrolls, all of it could dissolve the same way, and we would lose it forever. The tomb has waited 2,200 years. They will wait until we know how to open it without destroying it. Whatever is inside, it will be the most significant archaeological event in human history when it happens.
7 forbidden places, 7 different locks. A cave sealed because 15 years of human visitors nearly destroyed what 17,000 years of darkness had preserved. An archive containing 4 centuries of the most powerful institution on Earth, and no one has ever read it all. A seed vault in the Arctic holding the backup copy of humanity's food supply. A military base where the UFO sightings turned out to be aircraft 3 decades ahead of their time. An island of snakes that evolution turned into something no human should walk toward. A tribe that has lived isolated for 60,000 years, protected not from you, but from your germs. And a tomb that may contain the most spectacular collection of human artifacts ever assembled, waiting untouched for 2,200 years because we don't yet know how to open it without destroying it. Every lock on every door in this list tells you something about what we value, what we're willing to protect, and what we're willing to sacrifice, including our own curiosity. If you made it this far, you know what to do. Subscribe, because there are more doors, and we're going to look through all of them.